Always good to be back in familiar territory.
Hey, Rinwell, tell me about your parents. What were they like?
They were kind. That's the part I like to remember. They could also be strict, though, especially when it came to magic. I never understood why I had to work so hard to learn magic. Why we couldn't just be done with it and live openly like everyone else. Needless to say, that didn't go over well. Of course, if I'd had known that one day I'd be doing this, I would have taken my studies more seriously. What about your parents?
Same deal. Run through the mill. Told constantly that training was the only way to survive in a world like this. It got bad enough that I ended up running away and siding with the Renans of all people. And now, I've got that training to thank for being alive.
I know how that feels.
The first time we met, you risked using your magic to stop me from kicking my dad's ass. You could have done anything else. You could have ignored it. So, why?
Yeah, I guess something about Zephyr reminded me of my own father.
You don't say. So, did your pops and mine look a lot like each other?
Not really. Not at all, in fact. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt a resemblance, I guess.
Wow. Well, I won't pretend I understand, but I'm glad. Your dad must have been a great guy.
He was.
Maybe it's the snow soaking up all the sound, but something about Cyslodia always feels mysterious to me. Solemn, almost.
When it comes to solemnity, I'd say our own Octalina Palace is no slouch.
I won't argue with you there. Still, that azure tint of the shadows on the silvery white snow, it has a certain indescribable quality.
Indeed. It was boorish of me to even suggest such a comparison.
All I know is it's freaking cold. Still, more pleasant now that the locals aren't quite as frosty towards us.
Well, excuse me if I'm too frosty for your warm self.
Oh, come on! You know I didn't mean you. Besides, really, I'm the one who...
How about we stop getting hung up on the past for a change? Take what you've learned and put it to use in the future instead.
An unexamined past can be just as dangerous in its own right.
Better that than obsessing over it like a certain someone I know.
Kisara doesn't mince her words, does she?
I could say the same thing about one or two of the other women around here.
Tell me about it.
I think I'll refrain from commenting on this one.
Hoodle, I've got some dried fish for you. You want some?
Forget that. Doesn't some tasty red meat sound better, boy?
Hey! Stop trying to coax him away with treats. Get your own adorable sidekick if you're so desperate for one.
He appears to enjoy being the center of attention.
Funny how things change. He and Rinwell used to be joined at the hip, or shoulder to talon.
It's not just Hoodle who's become more trusting. Isn't that so, Rinwell?
They do say pets and their owners act alike. I suppose since we've been together, I've done my share of coming out of my own shell too.
Well then, I guess with you and Hoodle, that makes us all one big happy family.
Sometimes when I'm deep in thought, Hoodle will come over and sit next to me. I only wish I could actually pet him.
Oh, you will someday. You won't believe how soft he is.
Wish I had that problem. I'm lucky if I can so much as look at old Featherbrain without him trying to claw me to ribbons.
Really? He seems tame enough around everyone else. Maybe it's just Hoodle's way of establishing dominance?
That's dogs, not owls.
What's going on when Hoodle pecks at you?
I don't know. Like when I'm talking to Rinwell, it's like he's trying to muscle me out or something. Unless... Wait, you don't suppose I make him jealous?
Come again?
Ow! Ah, get off of me, you insecure fluffball!
I rather think they make a good comedic pairing.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our heads.
Hey, Alphen, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy!
Looks like we made it here in one piece. Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but you sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunder Blade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back. Whew!
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shion. But that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alvin's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our heads.
Did we really just spend that much money?
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is. Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard! I never thought about this until now, Alphen. But doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose?
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Guess I misread the landing. This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
In a bind?
Searing flame! Reload!
This one's all mine! Ignite!
A wall to shield from calamity.
I'm ready! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Elton!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Save you! I shall ensure you survive this.
Nothing gets by me!
Illuminate
Burn!
I'm
ready!
Chill! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Denied!
Double Demon Fang!
Wait! These things really get on my nerves!
Double Demon Fang!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummeling to me!
Double Demon Fang!
Everlasting darkness!
Annihilation!
Negative gate!
Flame of fury!
It's over!
It's no fun! Now you see what I can do!
Here goes! This one's mine!
Not today! Double Demon Fang! Here I come!
That'll bring you down!
No escape!
In a bind?
Double Demon Fang! Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done.
All mine! Not today!
Scream, babe.
Double demon fang!
Rending you apart! Bloody howling!
Denied! Now!
Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Not a chance!
Lunar corruption!
Double demon fang!
Power of water! Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
So I still had room to grow. This one will be difficult to predict.
Here I go! You're mine! Like it! That requires complete focus!
Shield from calamity.
I think I'll try all of this! This one's
Another incantation
This
ruined.
one's mine!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
They
Not
I'm
today!
letting you
Flashing
go.
blade! Slash!
Dance in the wind!
I can carve through armor!
Healing circle! Air thrust!
I'm grateful.
Sorry
to trouble. Okay, here I go!
A thrilling performance. After being interrupted.
Lightning orb!
Elusive deity.
Raging cascade!
Rotating pile
Healing
driver.
circle!
Takes it.
Spread! Dance in the wind! Lightning!
Nothing can resonate with the earth.
Denied!
Double demon fang!
Lightning
Try
orb!
this.
Dance in the wind!
Infernal torrent!
Can't get out of sight.
Here! Don't give up! Get on in
From
there with the
beyond,
others!
imbued it.
Here's evil!
beyond,
Shining
imbued
Super
it
Lancer!
with soul
Alright,
of
it's showtime!
Take
There
this.
he is! Here! This will come in handy! Sight!
I can carve through armor.
Double demon
We have
fang!
astral energy!
Rising falcon!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Rising wyvern!
This will by the
You're
power
mine.
of water! That'll bring you down!
Rising falcon! Mirage! You picked the wrong fight!
Air pressure!
Rising fang!
Don't mind if I do!
Rising wyvern!
Mirage! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Thunder field!
Double demon
Raging
fang!
cascade! Outstanding form! Dance in
Leave
the
the
wind!
charges to me! Far enough!
Now!
Air thrust!
Double demon!
Can you take it?
Rising wyvern!
There!
Mirage!
Rena, mega ray!
Benediction.
Rising
Raging
Infernal
sword!
torrent!
Shattering the wind.
Pieces!
Attack time! Here I come!
Blood. Rending you apart.
Do it!
Looks like it could be worth something. I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Demon fang! Not today! Come and face me! Take this!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Rising
In a
falcon!
bind.
Double down!
Illuminate the
Rising wyvern!
Wall to shield from calamity.
Double demon fang!
Mega ray!
Rising wyvern! Mirage! Take this!
That'll bring you down!
I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
It's on! Ignite!
Healing circle! Thanks! I owe you, Sion. Healing is what my arts do best.
Now!
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction. Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
This calls for a celebratory drink.
Looks like some solid equipment.
Bad feeling about this.
Raging storm!
Save you!
Searing flame!
Rising Wyvern! Try harder! Now!
Annihilation! Mega ray!
Double Demon Fang! This one's all
Lightning
mine!
orb!
Burn it down!
Illuminate the dark!
Double Demon Fang!
Holy land! Flame and
Now I can let loose! Double Demon Fang! Damn it! It's too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Infernal Torrent! Prepare to be seen!
Take this!
Lightning orb! Raging
Seismic
Lunar
Rising Wyvern!
Let's get you all tucked away!
Rising Wyvern!
There you go! Don't let up!
Anything in armor is all mine! On your knees! I'll smash you!
Annihilation!
Double Demon Fang! Try harder! Not a chance!
Searing flame!
Rising Wyvern! Eat dirt!
Light.
Raging storm!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Leave the light if I do!
Rising Wyvern! Rising Falcon!
Far enough! Need to pull myself
Take this!
together. Searing flame!
Rising Wyvern!
Here goes
Rising
lunar
Falcon!
corruption! I'm freezing! By the
Rising
power of
Wyvern!
Wyvern!
Rising Rising Howling!
Resonate with the earth.
Stun!
Prepare to be sealed.
Searing flame! Reload! Heal!
No further.
I'm out of air!
Double Demon Fang!
Annihilation! Radiant! Here!
Double
Here I
Demon
go!
Fang!
The
Flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Armor won't
save you!
Rising Falcon! Mirage! Double
Lightning
Demon
in the
Fang!
sky is
You're
down!
mine! No escape!
Into the shadows!
Double Demon Fang!
Rending you apart.
Where are you going?
Bloody howling.
Raging storm! Here goes! By the power of water! Hold on to your heart! Here I
Infernal
come!
Torrent!
Into the shadows!
Double Demon Fang! Try
Lightning
harder!
defense! Not in your dreams! Illuminate the dark!
Double Demon! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Holy corruption! Seven-Eye Aqua!
Double Demon Fang!
By the power of water!
Ready and raring!
Mirage!
Raging storm! Here, let
Double
me help!
Demon Fang!
Blind you with a dust. Stand from the
Rising
way. I'm
Wyvern!
ready.
Remember!
Astral energy!
Say no more! That astral energy was incredible!
I gave it everything I had.
a bad feeling about this.
Try harder! My turn! Here I come!
Radiant Flash!
Double Demon Fang!
Careful! It has some kind of camouflage! Raging Cascade!
Double Demon Fang!
Do it! Astral Energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well,
I'm ready! Double in an instant! Impact Block!
There's
It's on! Burn in hell!
This one's mine!
On your knees!
I'm ready.
Slash!
Lunar
Far
Corruption!
enough.
Air pressure!
Our art is being interrupted.
Try this! Infernal Torrent!
Ready and where? Lightning Condemned! Thunder Blade!
Double Demon Fang!
Here I pierce the evil!
Blood. Rending. I can carve through armor. Benediction.
Freeze
Double
Lancer!
Demon Fang!
You get down! Ice Prison! Lunar Corruption!
Ignite!
By the power of
Lightning
water!
Whisper!
I'll heal you all!
Try this!
Lightning
Infernal
Orb!
Torrent!
Take
it, Mike!
Blackened blade.
Heal! Thanks for the healing.
Watch yourself, okay?
Yeah,
Charge like
you
that
too.
can easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
It's too much! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's the healing storm!
Rising Weapon! Now I can let loose! Double Demon Fang!
Water!
In a bind.
Swallow Blade!
Flame of Fury!
I can handle it. Let me help. Far enough.
Thunder
Raging
Blade! Raging Cascade!
I think I'm coming down with something grave.
A chronic inability to read the room?
A malady your art cannot fix. Benediction.
Burn in hell!
Heal!
Double Demon Fang!
Art expert coming through! Don't mind if I do! Lightning!
Double Demon Fang!
Resonate with the earth!
Swallow Blade! Try this! Infernal Torrent!
Here!
Double Demon Fang!
Let's get you all tucked away!
It's over!
Raging Cascade!
Another incantation
Double
brewing.
Demon Fang! Remote!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
I think I'm getting stronger. What do you think this place was for? Ah!
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedures somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danon, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary zoo. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourself. All bets are off when it comes to this thing. Double demon
Shattering the pieces! Attack time! Can you take it?
Here I come! This one's all mine!
Glacial Spear.
Burn it out! Double demon
It looks like you got this one covered.
Here I come!
Feel
Shield from calamity.
Barrier! Double demon fang!
His head is our weak point? We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit him.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Feel.
You're mine!
Take this!
Let's get you on the correction. By the put the Lord in order. All right.
Double demon
It's
fang!
showtime. Take it.
Ready and raring.
Not on my watch.
Right! Double demon fang! Eat dirt!
You take it.
Double demon
Raging
fang!
I'll smash you!
Healing
You're
circle.
mine!
Sorry.
Double demon fang!
Aqua.
Fly!
Lightning orb. All right.
my core,
Lightning blade. Here. Sleep
Double
now.
demon
There.
fang!
And more for the south side.
You're mine!
Whoa.
You're mine! I'm not done!
Raging cascade.
Here I come!
Nothing gets by
Here.
me.
Get on in there with the others.
You're mine!
Denied!
Double demon fang!
Showtime.
with blackened blade!
Tempest
Here I
Whirl.
come!
Glacial
Double
Spear.
demon
Here's
fang!
Eagle. Freeze Blade. Raging Storm.
Ah! You picked the wrong fight! Double
Raging
demon fang!
Cascade.
Seismic rupture!
Sleep
Here I
now.
come!
Outstanding form.
I can carve through armor!
Get on in there with the
Bring you
others.
down.
Ready.
Try this! It'll go forward! Swallow blade!
All right. It's showtime.
Fly!
Healing circle.
Swallow blade!
Now.
To stop you
Get
dying?
on. Get toasty.
Burn strike!
Dance in the wind.
Double demon!
Feel.
Swallow
I'll be
blade!
saving you in one.
Fly!
Raging Storm.
Demon fang! It's on! Ah! Burn in hell! Fly! Double demon fang!
Cast
on the wind! Double demon fang! Take this!
It's over. Radiant.
I can handle it.
Seismic rupture!
Feel.
Double demon fang!
More power up.
You're... Swallow blade!
The enemy is going
I
all
don't
out.
know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the
Can't
time?
get out of
I
this!
really don't.
I can carve through armor!
Feel.
No escape! Swallow blade!
Mega ray. Here's a healing arc. Lightning
Double
ray.
demon fang!
It's in the raging arc.
Not now, not ever! Not today!
Feel. I'll kill you.
Double
Not on
demon
my
fang.
watch.
Is this it?
Don't give up. Raging storm. Banana. I'm out of ammo. Lost and weak.
Double demon fang!
Rain down. Purify all.
Fly!
Gemini Aqua.
It's gonna attack!
Right. Watch out.
Handle it.
Forward up. In here.
Ready and raring!
This'll come in handy.
Armor won't save you!
Thanks, Shield.
Be careful not to overdo it.
One side. I'll do better.
Double demon fang!
Negative gate!
Illuminate the dark. Here's Eagle. Only glimmer.
Double demon fang!
Resonate with the earth!
Here I come! Fly!
Lunar corruption. Gemini Aqua. Astral energy.
Try harder!
Oh, sparkling stars of light.
Can't get out of
Rain
this.
down and
Double
purify.
demon fang! It's on!
First aid.
Elusive deity!
Rocked and ready. I never miss.
Fly! Double demon
Onyx,
fang!
coming
Take
through.
this!
Lunar corruption.
Ready and raring!
Gemini
We got him on the run!
Don't get caught.
Right! Still anyone's fight! Double demon fang!
Light astral illuminate the dark. Come forth. Holy glimmer.
smite with
Into the
blackened
void.
blade.
Holy land.
Here I come! You're on! Double demon fang! I'm not done!
Raging
It's
storm.
on! Ignite! Double demon fang! Here I come!
In here. Healing circle.
Double demon fang!
Raging storm.
Falcon!
All right. Good.
You're on! Double demon fang! Go! showtime!
Freeze Lancer!
You're finished!
Light Axe illuminate the
I
dark!
can carve through
Holy
armor!
Glimmer!
Huh?
Pile Fury! Holy Lance!
Rising Sun!
Spear! Here's Evo!
Rending you apart! Double Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
In a bind?
Do now!
Remote!
Astral Energy!
Say no more. The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Xcagegame been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dohalim's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
So, looks like the Xcagegame have been engineering Zeugles too. Why doesn't that surprise me at this point?
The creatures we've been encountering here have been a little different to what we're used to fighting, but I'm pretty sure they're Zeugles too.
Do you think they were engineered using creatures native to the area?
Indeed. However, based on the current circumstances, I would guess these Zeugles are all that's left of the planet's fauna now.
You mean, there might have been native owl species here once upon a time too?
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are at least. No, you're... Right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can think about?
Bear in mind.
This one's tough! Double Demon
Where are
Fang!
you going?
Here! Double Demon Fang! The flame
Game.
inside me yearns to be
This is gonna need all of us together!
Not done! Eat dirt!
The flashing part's their weak
Double
point.
Demon Fang!
Outstanding form.
Denied!
Anything in armor is all mine.
Swallow Blade!
Armor won't save you.
Stop!
Lightning condemn.
Rising Wyvern!
Thunderblade.
Rising Serpent!
Illuminate the dark.
Resonate with the earth! Try harder!
Thanks for the healing.
Watch yourself, okay?
Yeah, you too.
Swallow Blade! Strike! Swallow Blade! Try harder! Double Demon Fang!
Lunar Queen.
Time to let it rip! Swallow Blade! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Double hit song! Eat dirt! Double Demon Fang!
Freeze Lancer.
Here I come!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Double Demon Fang!
Seismic Rupture!
Now we're Rising Walker!
It's weakened! Cascade!
This ends now!
Soaring Blast!
Sleep now!
Double Demon Fang!
Ready to go!
Solar Blade!
Can't get out of this!
The flame inside is yours to be let
I'm only
free!
getting started!
Ignite!
Radiant
I'll face you!
Double Demon Fang! Rising Walker!
On
You're
your
on!
knees!
Raging Storm!
You're mine!
Healing Circle!
Now I can let loose!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Lightning Contaminate!
Ready and whip! Double Demon Fang!
Downfall!
Catapult!
Illumination!
Rupture!
Come back into Holy Glimmer! Holy Lightning! Downfall! Here's a healing!
Double Demon Fang! Double me! In an instant! Impact Claw!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
We finally made it. Hey, she's pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Ow!
Done. This is sure to give the others some much needed.
Finally. If only we could have... flown with the wind to get here faster.
What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more... diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's great spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renas Alma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That shows how deeply we've ventured into Rena.
And how close we've come to the real enemy.
So here's a question. We came all this way to Rena on the assumption the Renas Alma's here, right?
Just don't say it, Law.
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
I said don't.
I can understand why you might be concerned, Law. But you need to remember that there are people it affects more directly than you.
Oh, sorry.
We've managed to make it this far believing. Losing faith now won't do us any good. We're better off focusing our anxiety elsewhere.
Such as?
The Great Spirit. If Hevrect 35's to be believed, our enemy won't just be handing over the Renas Alma to us. At least, not without a fight.
Not only that, but that same enemy just gulped down more than an entire world's worth of astral energy.
Point taken. It may be strange to say, but when I'm fighting, or at least know what needs to be done, it helps me a lot. I don't doubt myself as much. So thanks, both of you. The floor's on the ceiling and the ceiling's on the floor. This whole thing's making my head spin. Why would they even do something like this?
The Helganquil can bend life forms to suit their will. Nothing they could do at this point would surprise me.
The ceiling is on the floor. That doesn't weird you out?
What good is a team made up of members who all share the same opinions on everything? And besides, when you get to be at my ripe old age, one begins to consider it quite uncouth to show one's true emotions at times.
Oh, come on, Grandpa. You can't be that old.
The sands of time wait for none of us, lad.
Yeah, we'll see. Though at this rate, I guess I'll have to live long enough to get as old as you first, huh?
You will. And when the time comes, I look forward to hearing you change your tune on the matter. This one will be difficult to predict.
It's on! Rising Warrior! You picked the wrong fight! Rising Falcon!
They may look cute and stuff, but they're vicious.
Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
An astral force?
That's my cue.
Shut him down! Double Demon Fang!
Glacial Spear. Pierce evil. Now.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Illuminate.
My
Hold
turn!
on to your art.
Mirage!
Here I come.
You picked the wrong fight! Double Demon Fang!
Now.
My turn! Double Demon Fang!
Not much longer to go.
Come on, one final push!
Let's do this together, Alvin. Pierce evil.
Double Demon Fang!
I'm ready. Redwell, astral energy. Full throttle. A flawless victory.
Double Demon Fang!
Naturally.
Double Demon Fang!
I know fine weapon material when I... see it.
This'll make us... even more formidable.
Don't get careless!
Don't tell me! Swallow blade! Lion heart!
Concentrate, Radiant! Here!
Burn in hell!
It's a duel of the arts!
Now you see what I can do! Calamity! Take this!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for you.
In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Leave the enemy's art up to me!
Far enough! No complaints here!
Rising Wyvern! Rising Falcon! Escape! Rising
bring you down. Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Dance in the wind!
Not a chance! Can you take it? Not today! Elusive blade! You're mine!
Here's the evil!
Mirage!
This one.
Take this!
Freeze Lancer!
Crunch!
In a bind?
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Not a chance!
Glacial
Rising Falcon!
Banana!
Here I come! Rising Falcon! Double Demon Fang!
Raging Cascade!
It's over!
Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Rising! Begin!
I'm
ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Really bad feeling about this. I never miss.
Swallow Blade!
Concentration!
Ignite! Allow me to help.
Far enough! I'll heal you all!
Smash you! Rising Wyvern!
Here goes! Healing the flashing parts are weak points.
Come on! Thanks.
Holy Land!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Stand from the wind! Double Demon Fang!
Cascade Supernova!
Take this!
Dance in the
Flame
wind!
inside me! Yours to be let free!
Sleep now!
Now or never! Take this!
In a bind?
More for
I'm
the
not done.
stockpile!
Rising Wyvern! Rising Falcon!
Resonate with the amazing.
Escape!
Annihilation! Mega
Double Demon Fang! You're mine!
Hold on to your
Rising
arms!
Wyvern!
Here I come!
Rending you up! One keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Coming through! Ha! Smell! Scarlet Inferno!
Lightning! Eat
Dance in the wind! Double Demon
That'll
Fang!
bring you down!
Blood!
Blood.
Rending you up! You're mine!
Here, let me help!
Bloody
Rising
Ready to go!
Slut!
Far enough!
Double Demon Fang!
Supernova!
You picked the wrong fight!
Raging Cascade!
Double Demon Fang!
Spread! Dance in the wind!
Rising Falcon! No escape! Rising Wyvern!
Here!
A thrilling performance.
Got it!
Rising Falcon!
Now's our
No
chance!
escape! It's over!
Whoa!
You're mine! Double Demon Fang!
Illuminate the dark! Mega Ray!
Rising Wyvern!
Holy Land!
Mirage!
Pieces!
This one's all mine!
Here's the evil!
You picked the wrong fight!
You're mine!
Double Demon Fang!
Holy cover!
Rising Wyvern! On your no escape! Rising Wyvern! Double Demon Fang! You're mine! Double Demon Fang! Rising Wyvern! On your no escape! Rising Wyvern! Double Demon Fang! Rising Wyvern! 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 Rising Wyv Double Demon Fang!
Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Wow, look what I just found.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Our arts are being interrupted.
Take this!
That'll bring you down.
It can hide itself?
Amazing! Can't get out of this!
Double Demon Fang! The flame inside! Rising up!
Ignite you
Ignite!
into dust!
Take this!
Carve through armor!
I'm sorry, Tugger.
Rising up!
That helps.
Double Demon Fang!
Now I can let loose.
Double Demon Fang!
Let me show you what my art
Mirage! Double Demon Fang!
Seal.
Okay.
Double Demon Fang! Here I come!
Scream.
Double Demon Fang! Slash! Swallow Blade! Double Demon Fang! Rising Wyvern! Rising Piston! You picked the wrong fight! Prepare to be seen!
In a bind?
Lightning Horn! Not on my watch!
Double Demon Fang!
If it's in the sky, it's mine! Like the hands in the wind!
Rising Falcon!
That'll bring you down! Like Astral
Rising Wyvern!
I can carve through armor!
Here I come! You're on! Piston! Double Demon Fang!
Seismic rupture!
Slash! Eat dirt!
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah, you too.
Rising Wyvern! Take this!
Damn it. Raging
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara. Here's a healing arm.
Blood! Rending you
I'm nearly done for. Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
This one will be difficult to predict. In a bind?
Rising Wyvern!
I can't hold on much longer.
Be careful, everyone. This one isn't normal. I'm nearly done for.
Look out, flyers!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
Time to let it... All yours.
There! Double Demon Fang! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Thunder, here goes! Raging down.
This one's all mine! Eat dirt! Double Demon Fang!
Eat dirt!
There!
Mega Ray!
Double Demon Fang!
This one's mine! Shining Supernova!
Slash! Swallow
I'll
Blade!
heal you all! In your dreams!
Double Demon Fang! Kisara!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Will this help?
First strike! Rising Sun!
This wall!
Great!
Healing circle!
As impressive as always.
Ah, and here I hope there wasn't fear.
Now! Astral energy!
Say no more.
Got it!
Well done!
Double Piston! Burn in hell!
Glimmer Dragon! Now!
Double Demon Fang!
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You're mine!
I shall ensure you survive it.
No escape!
Airborne beast. My specialty.
Barrier!
In here!
You got fire!
I got this! Let a marksman handle it!
Strike! Flame and all yours! Infernal Torrent! Double Demon Fang! You picked the wrong fuck! Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Tear! Hurricane Thrust! Tear!
I'm really getting started!
Swallow Blade!
Execution!
On Demon Fang! Try harder!
Here's a
Double Demon Fang! Here I come! Rising One!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! More sequels?
Keep calm and take them down!
Elusive Double Demon Fang!
Leave the enemy's arc to me!
Surely! In an instant! Impact Claw!
Illuminate the
Not
dark!
yet!
Come forth! Holy
Rising
clear!
Falcon! Negative hit!
Holy light!
Rising
I'm only getting started!
Double Demon Fang! This one's all mine!
Raging
No further! Double Demon Fang! Ignite! Take it! Double Demon Fang!
Scream, baby.
No escape!
Rending you apart.
It's over!
Bloody hell!
Take it!
What in the world? Don't worry. I'm alright. I'm still thin.
You fight better at a distance. Ours are way better. This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alpha!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Not until more! Rising Falcon! Here I come!
Here!
Double Demon Fang!
Into the fray!
Armor won't save you!
Now! Flame of fury!
Begin! Denied!
Double Demon! Double Demon Fang! Burn! Okay, here I go! No further!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! More? Elusive Swallow Blade!
Where are you going?
Double Demon Fang!
Don't mind
Rising
if I do.
Wyvern! Hurricane Thrust!
And again!
Rising Falcon!
Elusive
Deity! Swallow Blade! Double Demon Fang! You're mine!
Light astral energy! Air thrust!
Rising Wyvern!
You're really strong, Alpha!
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Still, it's reassuring to have you around.
As impressive as always.
Now!
And here I hope to...
Try this!
Take that!
Here I come!
Armor won't save you!
Holy
Double
Wind!
Demon Fang!
Begin!
Now!
Victory is with
Frozen!
hammer!
Raging
More?
Cascade!
Now! Take the
Seal of the Flame!
Rising Falcon!
Negative hit!
Lightning
Resonate with the earth!
Each
Stalagmite!
Too much to handle?
Scream!
Bring you down!
Rending you apart!
Not today!
Bloody hell!
Double Demon Fang!
Neon! Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory! Naturally!
Double Demon Fang!
In a bind?
Searing flame!
Rising Wyvern!
Not on my watch!
Rising Falcon!
Do it! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Hear me! Flame of
Double
fury!
Demon Fang!
Burning strike!
Swallow
Negative
Blade!
gate! Resonate with the earth!
I'm ready! In an instant! Impact Claw!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
Don't get careless!
Don't tell me!
Raging Cascade!
Fang! The flame inside me!
I'm not so good with airborne targets. weak now.
Double Demon Fang! You got flyers!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
All yours! Damn it! You're on!
Now you see what I can do. Here's a do it.
Thanks! Double Demon Fang!
Not much longer to go.
Come on, one final push!
Let's do this together, Alphen. Dance in the wind. Now, astral energy, full throttle. A flawless victory.
Double Demon Fang!
Naturally.
Double Demon Fang!
Take this!
Now,
Forward blade!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis. Glacial Spear.
Double Demon Fang!
Not in your dreams.
Rising Wyvern!
Air
on!
Light
Double Demon
astral
Fang!
now.
Reverse!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Take it.
I'm ready!
Looks like it could be worth something.
We got some good equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
This one's tough! Rising Lionheart! I owe you one! Double Demon Fang! Come one, come all! I've been hit with something!
So even a magic has its limit.
I can't hold on much longer. Just sit still. Leave
Seal,
the enemy's
can you
arc
take
to
care of
me.
them?
No sooner said than done.
Place here!
You're finished!
I'm ready. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen.
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you. Raging evil.
Swallow Blade! Try
Here.
this!
Infernal
Infernal
More
Torrent!
for the stockpile.
Double Demon Fang! Crescent Strike! Double Demon Fang!
Scream,
Take
days,
this!
and blood.
Raising you up high! Double Demon Fang! It's on! Burn in hell!
Now or never.
Double Demon Fang!
In a bind?
Now,
Why'd you hear me?
astral energy.
Say no more! That astral energy was incredible!
I gave it everything I had.
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this place is.
Or perhaps they simply thrived freely here.
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah, it's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Linwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants, how it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted, like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although, admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Xion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
To think, all this started because of the Great Spirit's desire to keep living. The only reason it craves energy is because it's dying from starvation. When you think about it like that, maybe the things it's done aren't so strange after all.
If Rena had been more like Dana, things would have worked out a whole lot better.
It's like Xcagegame 35 told us. The Danan and Renan spirits are meant to be completely different beings.
Rena's energy amassing in one place led to its developing a powerful will. But that also made it crave energy, sapping Rena dry until it perished.
Whereas Dana's energy is dispersed, meaning its will never developed to the same extent. And without that hunger, Dana the planet was spared.
As for which is correct, well, I'm not sure it's our place to even say. Still, I can't help but think it reminds me a lot of the dichotomy of the human condition.
Dichotomy? What do you mean?
Those who know not satisfaction are driven to keep devouring without limit. But those who are content with their lot in life rarely fulfill their potential. I imagine it's likely that the larger Rena's Great Spirit grew, the more and more powerful its hunger also became.
Everything in moderation. When all's said and done, maybe that's the hardest thing for people to learn.
Bad feeling about this.
Try harder! Burn in hell!
That'll bring you down.
Take this!
Not on my watch.
Double demon fang!
Calamity.
Hurricane thrust! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Remember!
Astral energy.
Say no more! Got it!
Well done. Into the
Armor won't save you!
Mega ray. In here.
Do it! Hey! Blow them away!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Do it, Kibara, frozen.
Hammer!
I think I'm getting stronger.
careless.
Double demon fang!
Don't tell me!
Burning
Double demon fang!
Here's evil! Raging cascade! I'll shoot them out of the sky!
Rising Viper!
Too much.
Try harder! My turn! You're mine!
Dance on the wind!
Power of water!
Double demon fang!
You require a hand. In a bind?
There you go! Don't let up!
Rising!
Now you see what I can do!
Thunder blade!
Rising Falcon! Double demon fang! Wide open! Rising
won't
Viper!
escape me.
Mine!
Rising Falcon!
Thunder blade!
Ignite!
Can you take it?
Double demon fang!
Don't mind if I do.
Lunar corruption!
You're mine! Slash!
It looks like you got this one covered.
No escape! Double demon fang!
Flame of fury! Burning strike! Glacial spear! Pierce the
Shattering the
Resonate with
pieces!
the
Attack us! I'll smash you! On your far enough!
Glacial
Rising Viper!
Resonate with
Double
the
demon
earth!
fang!
I'll heal you all!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
In your debt. Sorry to trouble you.
You do the same for me. Rain down!
Burn in hell!
Mega ray!
Double demon fang!
Execution!
Radiant fire!
Rising Viper!
Feel!
Rising Falcon!
This one's mine! That'll bring you down!
Shattering the pieces!
Rising Falcon!
Now, this one's got your name on it!
Ash to action!
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander, but I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
Brace yourself! This one's tough! Rising Wyvern! Rising Falcon! Double demon! There! Double demon fang! Ignite! Catapult! Double demon fang! Catapult! Rising Wyvern! You're on!
Illuminate the dark!
Take this!
Holy glimmer!
Slash!
Holy
Royal
land!
blade! Slash!
Radiant archer!
Shattering the pieces!
Attack us!
Double demon fang!
Rain down and
Rupture!
smash
You!
Healing
Rising! Double demon fang! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Raging cascade! Back into the fray!
I'll be saving this one.
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop. Where are you going? Ready to go!
Burn in hell!
Dance in the wind!
Double demon fang!
Feel! Searing flame! Far enough! Reload!
Rising
Field! Confiscated! Lunar corruption!
This is bad, right?
Yes, Alvin. Very bad.
I don't feel so good.
Try harder! Double demon fang!
Another incantation ruined.
Double demon fang!
Astral rotating.
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
Benediction light.
This isn't looking good! Now I can let loose!
Tempest whirl!
Double demon fang!
Here goes!
Take this!
Outstanding form!
No further.
Air do it!
Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
We may be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing.
bad feeling about this.
Demon Fang!
I can't hold on much longer.
Another incantation ruined.
Healing is what my arts do best.
All mine. No body
You'll
weapons
find
in the
no
next week.
mercy.
Denied!
Mega Ray.
Where are you going?
Holy Land.
Double Demon Fang!
Ready to
Save
go.
my
Weak
blinding blade.
Rise and shine.
Ignite!
Chinese
Double Demon
Supernova.
Fang!
Smash
you!
Dance in the wind. Air thrust. Radiant flow. Light Astroluna. One more.
Double
Mega
Demon
Ray.
Fang!
Annihilation.
Rising Wiper!
Lightning Arm.
Rising Falcon!
Lightning Condemned.
Slash!
Thunderblade. Illuminate the dark. Come forth. Holy Glimmer. Holy Land.
Double Demon Fang!
Will this help?
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Double Demon Fang!
What would I do without you?
Double Demon Fang!
Champion?
Now or never.
I'll heal you all.
Our arts are being interrupted.
Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno!
I heal you all. Illuminate the
Take
dark.
this!
Come
Yours
forth,
to be
Holy
let
Glimmer.
free! Burn!
Holy Land.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
We'll be getting started.
On yours, a thrilling
Demon
performance.
Fang!
Here's another. Arctic Annihilation.
Double Demon Fang!
Illuminate the sky.
blind you with a
Holy
Double
Glimmer.
Demon Fang! Ignite! Crescent
Holy Land.
Here, let me
Double
help.
Demon Fang!
First aid.
Why to heal me?
To stop you dying?
Kick it!
Lightning
Double
Orb.
Demon Fang!
More with action.
Swallow Blade!
Here's a
Here I
hero.
come!
First aid. Dance in the wind.
Resonate with the
In
earth.
here.
You're mine!
More for the annihilation. Mega
No
Ray.
further.
Double Demon
Magic
Fang!
is down.
Double
here.
Demon Fang!
Elusive deity.
Try harder! Double Power!
Elusive deity.
Burn it going black!
Leave
the charges to me!
Thunder Field. Light
Double
Astral
Demon
Energy.
Fang.
Raging Cascade. Lightning. Downpour. Here I go.
Double Demon Fang!
I never miss.
Rising Wiper!
Seismic rupture.
Take
Double
now.
Demon Law! Look sharp! Lightning
Thunder
Blade!
Lightning Condemned.
Double Demon Fang!
Thunder
Double Demon Fang!
Here I come.
With the earth.
Swallow Blade!
No more playing nice.
Infernal Torrent!
I'm all stuffed up. Gale Force.
This should do it!
Annihilation. Mega Ray.
Rising
Lightning
Falcon!
Raging Cascade. Downpour.
No further.
Go time!
This isn't ideal.
Rising Wiper!
Sparkling stars of light.
Blade!
Spear. Here's the evil.
That did it.
They're not playing around. I won't give up.
I couldn't make it in time.
Illuminate the
Rising
dark.
Wiper!
Come forth, Holy Glimmer. Hurricane Blade.
Double Demon!
One more
Going
time.
in. This one's mine. Inferno Crossing.
Thunderblade.
Hurricane Strike. This one's
Double
mine.
Demon Fang!
Seismic
Double
rupture.
Demon Fang!
Glacial
You're
Power.
mine!
This
Resonate
one's
with the
mine.
earth. Stalagmite.
Double Demon Fang!
Supernova. Crushing your dreams.
The flame
In a
inside
vine.
is yours to be let free! Eat dirt! Rising Wiper! Mirage! Double Demon Fang!
Hurricane Strike.
Bathed in blood.
Armor rending you
Save you.
going in.
Bloody arts were interrupted.
Supernova.
Double Demon
Light
Fang!
Astral illuminate the dark.
Strike!
Come forth,
Strike!
Holy Glimmer.
Diamond Meteor.
Holy Land.
Resonate with the earth.
Double Demon Fang! Rising Wiper!
Hurricane
Rising
Strike.
Falcon!
On guard.
Double
Make it
Demon
rain.
Fang! Double in an instant! Impact Block!
may be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Come one, come all! Double demon fang!
Flame of fury! Burning strike!
Double demon fang!
Lightning condemn!
Lightning block! Double demon fang!
Here I go!
It's time! Easter!
Take this! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alvin!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you! As impressive as always.
Here I hope there was improvement.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Shion actually look flustered. By the power of water!
Everyone hanging in there?
This one's tough!
In a bind?
Double demon fang!
I can carve through one!
Any more of this and I'll burn out! Double demon fang!
Not on my watch!
Okay, here I go!
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay?
Rising light! Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno!
Ready to go!
Born up!
Double demon fang!
Will this help?
Ha! Easter!
Double
demon fang!
On your
Now I can let loose!
Sorry, trouble.
Air thrust! By the power of water!
Double demon fang!
Mega ray! Watch and weep!
Double demon fang!
Lightning condemn! Radiant Zero flame! Reload!
I'll blind you with
Take
a
this! Searing tempest! And next I
Double demon
will!
fang!
I'll blind you with
Now or never.
Tornado!
Can't get out of this!
Here I go! It's
Double
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
You picked the wrong fight!
Where are you going? In here!
Rising Wyvern!
Leave the
Yours
torches
is the
to
way!
me.
I'll heal you all! Here comes it! Alright!
Double demon fang! Make up!
What would I do without one? Sparkling stars of light by the rain down your
I'll blind you into dust!
The enemy here are two. We'll soon see about that!
They smite with black and
Double
gray!
demon fang!
Illuminate the
Execution!
sky! Holy glimmer!
It's on! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Ha! You picked the wrong fight!
Pierce evil!
Double
Radiant do
demon
it!
fang! Double in an instant! Impact block! We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? I had a good partner.
So those thorns of Shion's, they're really a part of Rena's great spirit?
Most likely. But only a small fragment of it in the big picture. I don't sense a will of its own emanating from them.
If it's that insignificant, is there that much point getting rid of it?
This one's tough! Double Demon! No further! Double Demon Fang!
Nothing gets by me!
Can't move! Exploit the enemy! Shield from calamity!
Glacial Spear.
And more of them than I'll burn out! Double Demon Fang! Keep charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it!
I'm expert.
I'll leave it to you!
Where are you going?
Double
Sleep now.
Rising Wyvern! The
What
flame
if I do?
inside me! Yours!
Annihilation.
Double Demon Fang!
Annihilation. Bananas, let's go.
Eat dirt! Double Demon Fang!
Thunder Fusion.
Rising Wyvern!
Lightning condemned.
On your Double Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Glacial energy. Dance in the wind. Hear me. Flame of fury. Burning. Destroy.
Double Demon Fang!
Here's the evil.
Double Demon Fang!
Everlasting dance in the wind.
Rising Wyvern!
Feel.
Rising Falcon!
Can't get out of this!
Double Demon Fang! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Double Demon Fang! Eat dirt!
Can you take it?
Double Demon Fang!
Seismic rupture!
I'm gonna need more than this!
Elusive
Rising Wyvern!
Eagle Ray!
Rising
Where are
Falcon!
you going?
Rising Wyvern!
Thrilling performance!
Rising Falcon!
Raging Cascade.
Rising Wyvern!
More for the downside.
Double Demon Fang!
Leave the target to me!
All right. It's
Prepare to be seized! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down.
Burn!
Holy Land.
Double Demon Fang!
I don't even know the word defeat.
I can carve through armor!
I'm only getting
Seismic rupture!
Hold it together. I owe you, Xion. Healing is what my arts do best.
Rising
All mine can
Wyvern!
do is cause havoc and destruction.
Double Demon Fang!
This then.
Double Demon Fang!
Require complete
Rising Falcon!
here.
Thank you for the healing, Zohari.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive.
Turret!
No one is dying on our watch.
Double Demon Fang!
Can't move!
Don't leave me! Hold on to your eyes. Here I come. Out of ammo.
I'm nearly done for.
Thunder Field. Raging Cascade.
Rising Falcon! Rising Wyvern! I owe you one.
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself,
Double
okay?
Demon Fang!
Yeah, you too.
I'm ready! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around.
Double Demon Fang!
Certainly not.
Try harder!
This one's mine.
Double Demon Fang!
Can't get out of this!
Double Demon Fang!
Lunar Corruption!
Try this! Not today!
By the power of
Elusive
water
deity!
Double...
I can carve through armor!
Banana, let's go! Lunar Corruption! Illuminating form!
Double Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Healing from here!
Double Demon
Get
Fang!
on in there with the others!
Resonate with the earth!
Hard up!
Double Demon Fang! Try harder!
So you clamor for my true power?
Burn! Double Demon Fang!
Mega Ray! It looks like you got this one covered.
Save you!
Rising Wyvern!
Behold! The earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
Annihilation! Mega Ray!
Illuminate
the
Double
storm!
Demon Fang!
Holy Glimmer! Holy
Rising
Land!
Falcon!
This one's mine! Where are you going?
Double Demon Fang! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Double Demon Fang! Here I come! Double Demon Fang!
I'm ready!
Doubling! In an instant! Impact Clock! We work well together.
Like a finely timed walk. Great faith and blood.
Rending you apart.
Rising Wall! In the wind!
Rising Falcon!
Everlasting darkness.
Negative gate!
Denied!
Showtime! Swallow blade!
In a bind?
Here's a healing art!
Double demon fang!
First aid!
I'll smash you! Tempest!
Rising Falcon!
Mega ray!
Seismic rupture!
Lightning!
Double
Rising
demon
cascade!
Hitting pile
In here! This will
Double
have a
demon
baby.
fang!
Benediction light.
Lightning annihilation!
This one's all mine!
Now play special!
You picked the wrong fight! Double demon fang!
Holy Lance! Protocols field!
Thanks!
I'm all stocked
Double
up!
demon
This
fang!
one's mine! Where are you going?
Catapult!
Rising Wyvern!
Spirit Raging Cascade! Lightning field!
Swallow blade!
I'll be saving this lunar corruption!
Double demon fang!
Sparkling by the power! Rain down and pure
Carve through
fire!
all!
Double demon fang!
In a bind?
Ready to go! Lunar corridor!
Seismic
Meteor
rupture!
power! One more time!
Double demon fang!
Benediction light.
Burn!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
We may be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing.
Hey, new equipment!